Okay. So today, as we discuss, we are going to continue our API development concept. And okay, so as we decided, we are going to use the tool, a framework to building microservice or REST API via Spring. So first things, go to the Google and just type Spring. Okay. Whenever you type Spring, this is the official website of Spring. Spring is a framework. For Spring is a framework for an application framework. Okay, so they are help us. Spring framework help us develop my applications. In my applications, whatever thing required will do. Okay, so let's click on the basic page of it. The home page of your Spring framework, right? So I'm not going to detail about. We have already discussed why we are going to use Spring, what is Spring, why we are going to use, right? So let's
Right.
just start. Just test. We are able to run basic Hello World via Spring framework, right? Always start the basic things. So Spring quick start guide. Here say what you think. Basic things, you need a one ID. Already we have IntelliJ idea in my local, and we need a Java JDK minimum version recommendation 17, but we know we are using Java 21. There is no problem, right? Good. So they have a step number 1 and step number 2 and step 3 for testing. We have just performed 2 steps to complete the Spring Boot application, right?
Right.
Whenever I hear say Spring or Spring Boot, sometime you can say synonym. Okay. Major differences later part we discuss, right? So till now, any confusion, any doubt? Can we start the step number 1?
Yeah. Step
So
one.
use this website to create the dependency. Question is that why we need to use this, right? Okay. So many times whenever say any Spring framework, so Spring framework already written some code for you, right? This is the form of library or in the form of dependency. So from now on, whenever we are going to study any framework, we are not going to use any existing jar files or any library files. We say the new terminology dependency, right? It's a dependency, right? Dependency. So this
Right.
might help us for Spring Boot application. This is Spring Boot, right? Whenever you're going to create any Spring Boot, you need the basic code written by the Spring, right? So from where
Right.
we can get from this Maven repository, right? Maven repository. Okay. So due to that, first we set up our Maven on my local machine, right? Download Maven and set the path. That's clear. So now please go whenever I call dependency, that means our Spring already written some classes, some interface which I am going to use. So if I am going to use my local code base, then those code must be available in my local machine, right? So let us this is my local machine here, and I am going to use the any Spring related classes in interface. So in my local machine, there is no way how my machine know ki, hey, this is the class. Where is the class? They are unaware. Ki, I'm not able to find where the class. So we can say, don't worry, I'm give you from where you can find. So I'm giving from this dependency, right? Clear? Why we are going to use Spring start.spring.io website to
Yeah.
figure out all the Spring related dependency. Dependency means what the class is, what the code written by Spring as a organization, as a framework. That's clear?
Yeah.
So, you have any question?
So every time I open a project, I come here
Let little bit start from today. Yes. Okay.
from
So you
today's.
have to go in this website. Whenever you start any new project, preferable way you can open this Spring initializer window, right?
Okay.
Here, you see, like Spring, any frameworks are given some basic infrastructure, right? The basic infrastructure, we have to follow some rules and guidance, right? In this way you can build your software, in this way you can build your project, right? So this is the where place Spring say this is my infrastructure, you have to follow these guidelines, right?
Right.
So first you go first here say ki tell me the project, tell me the language. So I am going to use which kind of project. Strategy say there are three kind of project nowadays Spring support. Maybe Groovy project, maybe Kotlin project using the Gradle tool, and Maven project. Because we downloaded the Maven, we are going to say, hey, Spring Initializer, please create me Maven project, right? And which language I am going to support? As a Java language, as a Kotlin language, as a Groovy language. As of now, Spring work for the three languages, right?
So Groovy is another language, just like
Groovy
Java.
is another language, yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so we are first we select the Maven project. Second, it's a Java already selected. It's a good for me because we are learning as a Java language, right?
Right.
Next things, the Spring Boot version. Question: ki, which is the Spring Boot? Notice the Spring community continuous working on his framework to support the current challenges, current technology. What is the involvement going in the current side, right? So notice we are using the Java 21. So this Spring Initializer also support ki our Spring framework can work on a Java 21, right? So continuously they are working. So they have different releases working. So currently notice this is the 3.1.5. The current versions of Spring Relay Initializer is 3.1.5. And notice here with 3.1.6, 3.2, and 3.2.0. Means these are the versions where currently Spring as a company is still working. They are not released. This is the stable version, the release version, right? Always
Right.
prefer the stable and release version, right? You can use anyone. But by default, they say this is the 3.1.5 stable and release version of Spring Framework. It's clear.
Right.
By default, select 3.1.5. By default, they are selected. But sometime I want to use some new feature which Spring is still not released, but they are working. So you can maybe use snapshot version, yeah, RC release candidate build, right? So as of now, just understand we are going to default. Okay, so whenever you are creating any Maven project, you give some name, like your package name. So here say com dot gl dot anything, right? Your package name. Here your name of the application. What the application you are going to build. So let's hear uh, my first Spring Boot application. Okay, Spring Boot application. Okay, anything you can leave, right? And here, what kind of whenever they are building, they are generating a jar file, war file. So what the jar file name? Just say demo, not any problem, right? You can give any. So by default, notice this is the package name com.gl.demo, or you can say just app. Okay. So here the com.gl.app my folder. So this is the basic things you
Right.
can. Okay. Okay. You can say like uh, first uh, web app. Okay. Unique name you can there. Okay. So whatever the given name, same as your name becomes same as your package name. So this is the basic things you can give here. Whatever the name, this is not mandatory, but you can give any descriptions you can give here, right? Now
Right.
here is key. I want to build as a jar as a var. The preferable way nowadays always building the jar file, Java archive file, right? This is the deployable component. Now, which Java language you are going to version? Because Java is a language, here select the Java as a language, but Java have a lots of versions. So which version you are going to prefer? Java 8, Java 11, Java 17, yeah, 21. That's we are using the 21 because you are using 21, right?
Yeah.
This is your basic infrastructure required, right? So whenever you are going to start new project, you have to come on this spring dot start.spring.io and select these basic things. So let's again go to quick start. This is the first part we cover, right? This is the first part we cover, right?
Right.
Next part say this is here select and they say here mention you have to click on the add dependency to just add the Spring Web. Next part, this is the one part and this is the dependency. Means here you are going to say, this is my application, whatever my application going to create, they need the some kind of extra code, framework code. So you have to tell ki what kind of tool you want. So here say let's key I want to going to web development. So web development lots of tool have a Spring Web, a Spring Reactive Web, a Spring Web Services, Web Socket, a Spring Jersey. You know, Jersey is the one more implementation of a REST implementation, right? So they support both. As of now, we are going a simple Spring building the REST web. So just click one here. So notice this is one dependency created. Till now it's okay. So this is the here lots of dependency. If your application needed, you can add here. So basic things you have to select your project Maven Java language and just give your application name which you want and the language Java version. You see the left side and right side you just add the dependency which dependency you want. As of now we are going to one dependency is Spring Web means I want to build the RESTful API, right? This is good. Till now done. What is the next? Just go to the generate project. Click the here generate project. So now they are generate and download in one zip file with the name. This is the same name like here. So just here click and just open here this project. So in this way, this your project. I'm not open. Open this. By default, whatever your download folder, you can get this download, right? It's clear.
Yeah.
And question you can first then unzip, extract all or unzip. Just unzip. So now this is the folder in this is my download folder. Let's say I move in this instead of download, I move. You can just move any place where you want. Let's say I'm going to go to C drive in my folder and let's workspace and just I'm paste. Let's create one new folder like maybe web application, web development. Okay, web development. Okay, you can place anywhere in the code and inside this I'm just paste here. So till now, when you're not confused, now this is the project already. Okay, again, similarly, they have zip under zip. Okay, so instead of again say this is the just go here and cut and paste outside. Okay, and so inside folder, I just mentioned this is my web project. So now this folder already have one pom.file, right?
Right.
Pom.file. This is a complete project created by the Spring. Okay,
So
and
was it a zip file? Can you go
uh,
back to the
in the
where
download
the
folder, if you go download folder, this is the zip file initially. You have to unzip.
unzip it? Okay, unzip after you unzip. Yeah.
Unzip I just paste inside my C drive, our folder and workspace development. I this is the now this is the unzip folder, right?
Under work development folder.
You can place anywhere. Even you cannot in the download you can start. There is no problem, right? Because I want to just place this is the one folder so that I can save some, right? You can
Mhm.
do from anywhere, C drive, D drive, anywhere you want to place. Even there is no need to go anywhere. You can directly start development from the download folder. There is no need,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because this is just my convenience where I'm going to putting my source code, right?
Right.
So okay, that's good. So what we can do next? Now, okay, so let's go to the my uh, folder, whatever I'm created here, and here my first web. So here go to the right click this and open with IntelliJ, right? Right click and just select open with IntelliJ. If you're not getting option, just go choose application and select IntelliJ from here, right?
Right.
You can just select here and open them. This is the project you want to open in IntelliJ, right? So it will automatically open your IntelliJ project. Just trust them, not an issue, right? Because this is I want. Okay. So by default, this application created for you. So notice I selected Maven project. So Maven have some directory structures, they already placed them. You don't know automatically this project is set up ready. And whenever you do first time, it will take some time to download this dependency from internet. So now here your dependency, okay, resolving dependency is down. Maven is going to download your dependency from this Maven repository. So this is a little bit take time to downloading, right? So notice it's done. So here, notice this is a project structure for all the Maven project. They have a one project source, means here are all the source code, right? And here is the pom.xml. Okay, this is the pom.xml. This is the dependency list file. So whatever dependent, notice we have selected one dependency is Spring Web. So this is, notice this is Spring Web one dependency. This is the name of the dependency, right? So whenever in future any new dependency you want, you can just add inside the dependency tags number of dependency 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, any number of. Whenever you are writing here, by default Maven as a plugin going to download, and notice here they are downloaded jar, and this jar you can find here inside the somewhere, right? Question is that this jar we are going to store, right? The no, right? So in your folder, they internally created one directory structure where they are going to store, right? As of now, you don't understand, but if you want really where these my dependency store, by default in the window machine, they are going to store in the C drives, your users folder, inside your name, whatever here .m2 folder. This is the M2 repository. Whatever the source they download, they are storing in this repository in the local. So whatever they are Spring required, they store here in this folder, right? So as of now, just awareness, but don't worry. Internally, all the things is taken care by your intelligent Maven. You don't more focus. Just awareness purpose, yes. Whatever dependency they are download from the internet, they are storing on your local machine. It's clear? Any
Yeah.
confusion? So now,
So
yes.
when we open it, you move your mouse to pom.xml and we select open with IntelliJ.
Yes, this is the way. Just I'm closing
That's
again.
how it will open the whole project in
Whole
IntelliJ.
project. Just again, let's do it. This is my first project. Just say ki open with IntelliJ. Open with IntelliJ. Okay. Just I want to open this complete project in this IntelliJ as a ID. So this is a simple way.
Hmm.
Even you don't start IntelliJ first. Open from the POM file. POM file have a complete. POM is your Maven project structure. And by default, notice they are open not POM file XML. They are open the complete my first first web application, right? Folder.
Right.
C drive path complete, right? It's clear. So just close them. So now just scanning. So here you don't worry any folder. Just as of now, this is the source folder. Here you have to write your Java code, right? Go to the here.
Right.
Notice here two folders. One is the main, one is the test. Study we're talking about the test development, how to test my code. For that, Maven project always come with the two folder by default. Main is the actual source code. Test is the writing your test classes, right? So as of now, we're not going to focusing on test. I'm going to focusing on a main, right? So in this main, notice whenever we are creating this initializer, we are setting the package com.gl.myFirst. So this kind of class already created in my code. So let's check here. Notice inside the main, go to the Java, go to the this is the package already created. If you open in this Explorer, you notice this inside your GL folder, then COM folder, फिर Java folder, main folder, right? And this is SRC folder. This is the my web festival. So this is the my whenever I am copying this project, go inside. This is the source folder, and the main folder. Main have a Java, Java have a com have a GL have a first. So whatever I am given here name in initializer here, com.gl dot first name. This is folder created by this our Maven project inside a where inside the main Java folder, right?
Right.
Main Java. Why we are selecting Java language, right? So this is the about your project Maven project structure. This is the which project Maven project structure. Already all kind of project follow the same structure like source code, source goes in under two directory, main and test. Main under which language you are using, Java. Java under what package means folder you are using, right? Till now, any confusion? So this done. Let's minimize. And this is your code already written by notice framework. They have just written notice public class, public static void main, right?
So
Because this
who created this class? This
by
one
default
first,
this is the by default this is the tools. This is the tools. Okay.
first
This
wave app. Okay.
uh, by default using this is informations they created one class for you.
Hmm.
Okay. So notice this is the we are going to create the web application, but using the Java language. The Java language like the main application. So by default they written main for you, right?
Right.
So till now you have a not writing any single offline code, right? Not writing anything. Just you understand this all the things is already provided by your Spring IO initializer, right? Just you mention this line, package common package you mention and first line mention, and just selecting this language Java, Maven project, and dependency like a Spring Web, right? So you notice this you can explore here. You can explore button here, and you can look this complete project structure,
So in the dependency, we select Spring Web.
right?
How do you find it? Spring Web
Just
from.
click here and select just select web. You can find this all the option, right? Just
Okay.
have a
Okay.
search option here, right? I want to let's database. You can search database. This is a data related dependency. I want to any kind of later we'll discuss all the things, right? But here
Okay.
I have a
Okay.
search button. You can search anything, right? If you
Hmm.
don't want to search, just explore one by one. What dependency here? JDBC
Right.
dependency,
Right.
this
Hmm.
dependency, this dependency, this dependency, SQL dependency, right? All the dependencies they have, right? You can
Right.
go one by now. Notice here this related Spring Sail, Spring Boot, Actuator, lots of things there, right? Means ki whatever as a Spring framework, written code, written classes, written application, how those code you can run on your local machine. That means you have to download those code in your local machine. How can you download? Just tell Maven, hey Maven, I want this dependency. The Maven internally go and download from the specific website and set in your local machine. All the things is just done by automatically from this Maven. Okay, it's clear as of now.
Yeah.
So let's go to the again our quick start. This is the quick start. The first steps we done. Our Maven project is ready. Basically, we have to select these two things and it's done, right? Now it's a time for second code. You have to write your code, right? Second step, then test it. So let's see what this dependency say. Okay, now we already know. Okay, this is the class already written. This is the class already written here. Notice this is the class already written here. Already know, right? Here. So here, what kind of want to test? Let's basic test here. Say just hello world I want to print, right? So let us here you go and write simply say, hey, I'm going to write one more method. Method name public and just return static and method name just hello. Okay, hello. And I want just run it and say, hey, return hello word. Okay, okay, right? Okay. What we can do here, just written one method. Till now, whatever the code we study, always we are running main application from here, right? And always this output we are getting my console, right? I want this output on my browser here, right? Here I want, right? Correct? Someone can run, type some URL, and our output come here, right? Our objective. So how will do here? If you write this hello world, if you run, how what I can here say here what I can write ki, hey my application, can you just give me this output, right? So here in this method, notice before this method I can call from main method, right? Always we if you want to run this code, you have to call this from main method, right? I'm saying no, I'm not going to call this main method. I'm saying I'm going to call from the browser. So browser, how I'll tell you. So here say now Spring Boot come under here. They if you want to call any method from your here from browser, you have to tell me the URL, right? What the URL you are going to pass, right? So here say I am going to so let me just simple. Notice whenever you are hitting any browser request, so by default you have come under the basic concept. By default, whatever you are typing here as a Chrome browser, that means as a user I am sending request to our server. And that request by default considered as a get request, means you want to get some data. Why you are hitting the here request? Because your intention you want to response some from data, right? So by default this considered as your get request. So what is this get? Get means this browser have a some standard method. Get method, put method, post method. Okay, this is known as a standard method. Generally, from the user perspective, user don't know what is the get, post. But as a software developer, we know internally browser send a get request, right? So here
Right.
we have to tell, hey, browser, whenever user going to want to call this method, I say get mapping. What is the get mapping? By default, this is the annotation. At the rate means this is the annotation given by Spring. Notice this is a Spring class. Notice get mapping is way, and here you can say, hey, someone say slash hello. Okay. So whenever someone say slash hello, this method will call. Is it clear till now?
Yeah.
So let's say ki, hello world, hello, hello world at time. Which times you are calling, right? It's times. Let's say plus, how to print the times? Local date time now, right? Are you
Right.
getting? Here, notice I'm going to use the Java datetime API. All the things, whatever you learn, you can write here in this method.
Right.
Code, all the code. So till now, this thing I mentioned, ki, hey, this hello world, I want to whatever the response, whatever the code I written, this I am get output on this my browser, right? In browser. So for that on browser, I types what I type slash hello, and this application give response with this with the current time, right? So
Right.
question is that till now, and till now any confusion? What we written? Just we written one simple method, and I'm saying, hey, I'm going to run this method, but not from main method. I'm going to run from the browser. The browser have a get post standard method. So here say, hey, someone going to call the get from browser, and this is the URL they pass. It's clear.
Yeah.
So next question, let me understand. Here say you have to write the one hello method, right? Okay. And notice in this code they have requested you can say how, how whenever I say hello here, let's say on browser I say slash hello. Okay. You type hello. So question is that how this browser know I have to call this method written inside a particular class. This is my class, right? How we have to inform our Spring Boot as a server, hey server, this is my class can be accessible from the browser. So we have to how to tell our Spring framework, hey Spring framework, can you just tell this is my class which I want to consider as a run from the browser or user can access want to, because this is the method only someone call if that know ki where this method written, in which class written, right? So this is the class. So I say, hey, here we have to add one more annotation. In a good part, in a Spring framework or any web development framework, we are always going to inform your framework provider as a annotation. Here say @ say this is the REST controller. Why use the word REST? Because we are understanding here REST is a standard protocol for the communication. Okay, REST have a standard method like get, put, post, right? What is the REST? REST is a standard terminology. Okay, so REST, what REST API. Okay, so you can understand REST is a simple standard study discuss ki representational state transfer. Okay, they are transferring data from server to request to customer to server, server to consumer, right? So due to that, here what say you have to add one annotation. This is my class as a Spring framework. Consider this is my uh, class where user want to call them, right? So we have added two extra things from the core Java. One, this is the already we know we can write any method, but two things extra we are doing. One thing, and my mapping and my class say this is the REST controller. The two extra things we have. One is the REST controller means just as a developer, I want to sell, hey Spring framework, hey Spring server, please consider this is my class. User can access from the browser. This is my controller. What do you mean controller means? Let's understand. This is my browser. This is my client code. They are requesting send me data. Okay. So whenever they are requesting get request here on the server side, we need some person, some class then can entertain your request, right? So
Yeah.
which class? So this is the annotation say, hey REST controller. REST controller say, hey, this is my class. This is my class is eligible to insert the this URL, hello URL, right? So whenever any user come here and type slash hello, this request go to our server, and this server have might be a candidate multiple classes, right? So this class going to take. So we say, hey, this is my REST controller class, and this controller class is responsible to serving your request. So whenever so Spring Framework say, okay, I understand this is your class. So what the URL is your pass? So let's looking the any REST mapping here. Oh, this is the mapping of your hello. Okay, yes, I can call this method. So here what we are understanding. Just how our application flow work, right? It's clear. And how as a developer are going to inform our Spring framework or our user using the annotation, only annotation. So in whole Spring uh, Spring web development, we heavily use the annotation to inform our Spring framework or Spring server, hey, you can do this work.
What is the REST controller means?
Test
At
control
REST.
is just as a developer, we want form ki this is my class which have serve this request, hello request.
Oh, okay, okay. Mm.
Okay, I can write multiple classes in my code, right? So how our Spring framework know ki which is your class where this hello method written? So
Right.
say, hey, this is the class as a REST controller. REST controller means any request come from the browser, this class is going to entertain. Right, this is the controller means ki user one comes say get request send request, so who will going to take care the request? REST controller is going to take care the request. REST controller class is going to serve your request. It's clear. REST controller is a class which is responsibility to serving the customer request. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Any confusion?
Now I understand.
So now you are develop application, let's run and test them, right?
Right.
So how to run? Simple, same as a previous. Just you say right click, run, or simply say main, hey main, just run them, right? Now your code is going to run. So just let's here in main method, I'm not writing anything. Notice main is just written by our main. Just say, hey, this is my first class. You can run them, right? Now observe the output. Till now, you notice here the Spring server going to start. It is Spring Boot server 3.1.5, right? And notice here there are some logs information written. Notice here, here. Notice this is the say, hey, your Spring Boot application started using the Java 21 port ID. This and this is something. Notice here internally, Tomcat initialize the port number HTTP protocol using the 808 port. Now that means now my server is running on my local machine using the protocol HTTP and the port using the 8080. Notice here, Tomcat server started at port 80. This is it clear?
Yeah.
So now you can say ki now notice this application notice still running. Means ki now this main method is infinite running. Somehow go in the infinite loop, right? Because I don't know when user come and request them. So all the up- application we are building as a server client architecture. So yesterday we discussed ki we are going to develop the client server architecture. So first we have to develop our server. Server means ki our applications which are going to the run infinitely. Any customer come and get the request. Any customer come and get the request. Anytime, maybe you day, night, anytime. So whenever you starting application, they are always in running mode. Notice this application is still running. Notice your main application is still running, not stop because your just server started. Now your application is ready for responding. So before whatever we run as a main method, main always stop when the all code is done, right? Notice, but here notice main is not stopping because internally here say what I am say here say Spring application dot run or internally notice this is run as a thread. They are started infinite thread, multi-threading code, right? Notice the run method. Run method internally implemented by this configuration as a run method, and this is one threads started which are running continuously, right?
Right.
So that all are internal here, multi-threading implemented by your Spring framework. Notice before multi-threading, whatever we code, learn, run, always main is stopped after completion, right? But when we started learning the multi-threading, notice our thread can be stopped quickly, or you can set time. Hey, after 20 minutes you can start, or infinite run, right? Last class we give me the example like run scheduler jobs, always running. Similarly here, Spring Boot application say this is the one extra code written by your Spring framework. Spring application dot run and just tell which is the class you want to run. This is the my class. This is the my class. Just run them. And this code written, they are always running. They are not going to stop because now your code become a server service provider. Because service provider means you are ready to serve the request. It's clear?
Yeah.
Till so now let's test. Now your application is running fine, but this I'm not getting this output anyway, right? So what you can how could I that let me go to hit this browser. So how can go? Notice we have to study say कि whenever you're going to use the any URL, any URL here I am to hit, you have to follow some rules. First, your protocol. Which protocol I am going to use? I am going to use the HTTP protocol, right? HTTP.
Right.
And which port means on this uh, again say this is the rule we have to follow. This is the basic rule. Just you Google the what is the rule of URL. How URL made. First part your protocol. HTTP, FTP, HTTPS, SSL, right? Protocol you pass. This is the first protocol. Second, this protocol is the machine IP address, host name, where okay, and the third is the port. Okay, port, port. Port is the your URL, URI, right? So first part is your port. Here I am going to the HTTP, right? Here is the machine IP address where which machine you are going to access. So I am going to currently access my local machine, right? Not the any third party, any IP address. You can pass the IP address here. Say IP address, yeah, host name. IP या host name. So for my case, I am running on my local IP. So by default for local machine, there are host name known as a local host. You already know, right?
Right.
Local host. Our IP address by default 127.0.0.1 loopback IP, right? Right? And third, your port, because in your machine might be multiple software running, might be window running, Linux running, might Google prompt running, multiple software running, right? So you have to tell on this machine your IP address which port your application running. You have to here say I say 808. Why? I'm
And
just
how do you know? How do you
eh?
know it's 8080?
Yes, I'm telling you.
Okay.
By default 80 and 9 the path URL slash hello. Tell me whenever my server started, they are using the port 808. Notice here,
Okay, okay, okay.
Tomcat
Mhm.
server started at 808 port and protocol, right? This can be changed. If you want to know, no, not 808, I want to run in the 90001. You can change them. I'll tell you how, right? As of now, this is
Okay.
the default 808 default port for the web application, right? So just Google default port for the FTP, default port for HTTPS, default port for by default they are defined, but you can change them as per your application, right?
Right,
So it's clear. So how we can going to call my application? So we are following HTTP protocol, right?
right.
So let me just type notepad so that explain you again. So how to call any endpoint? You call the HTTP, right?
Right.
Colon slash your host name, my local host, right? Okay. Okay. Colon your port 8080, right? This is my application. And after that, which method you want to access? So
Home.
here my method, which method I want to call? I want to
Hello.
call hello. But what is the URL? This is my URL, right? Slash URL. So I say
Right.
slash URL slash hello, right? So this is the things we have to going to call, right? So whenever I am going to call this method invoke and this value return to me
On the browser.
on the browser. Yes, this method return to your browser. Let me test, right?
Right.
So here now I am going to use this HTTP, okay, colon slash slash localhost, okay, slash l 80, and after that I write hello, right?
Hello. Yeah.
This is the complete URL and click here. You are getting hello word at
Right.
time. Notice the same thing I return you,
This is very interesting.
okay. Even I want something can print on my console as well. Here I want to the same output, right? Something. So let's just stop them and even I write this message S out. Okay, S out here.
Oh, you can print here as well on the
Yes,
console.
let's do. Yes, I can just say, hey, this is my string. Same I'm say string output output. Okay, output equal to this my output, and just I say this is my server output and just return here. Now this is the complete Java code. You can do whatever you want, right? Java
Hmm.
code. Now here under the hand of your, this is the server output. Output on server. Output on my server. Okay, right?
Right.
So here say whenever user request, I return something and I console and say, hey, just return who call me, right? So now let's again start the server. Whenever we are doing any changes, we have to stop the server and again start, right?
Right.
So now you have again your server going to start. Just little bit take time. Very fastly started Tomcat server. It will take hardly 5 seconds, right, to start, right?
Right.
So now let's I'm again hit this request same. Go here and just I am hit something. Again notice the time change and note the server. Notice the server, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Again I hit this request. Notice the time change and this is right. It's
Right.
a good option. Till now, any confusion? You can
Okay.
get
I
response.
I have it. Okay. Now I understand. Now,
Yeah.
let's say that I wanna run a regular Java code. Is it
Yes.
gonna show like that output or?
This show our output. This is the Java code. You can call from main method. Is work.
All right. Okay.
Just what we are doing, whatever the till now we writing the Java code, just till now we have only one way to run from main method and get output on the console. Now we have a different infrastructure. You can get the same output on my browser, maybe on the any different application server. This is the URL expose. Anyone can call from the across the world, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Good. So till now, any confusion, any doubt?
No, I understand now. I
Great.
understand.
So let's look the my next. Okay. So here, this is the default works. That's almost got done. So now this is the basic tutorial. You've done it. Quick start guide. You just created the application, add the line of code, and just run it. Try it and run it. You can run from the command line as well as this is the from the code, or you now this is the code here written, right? Okay. The same I'm getting output hello world
Right.
because they
Right.
written hello world only code here, right? This is the hello world they written only, right?
Mm,
I'm say hello world the time as well as this working fine. So notice here on the HTML, notice you can up here. I'm not going to talk about the what is the HTML. Let's say I want to this response some be bold, some italic. This is here you can use the role of your HTML code, CSS code, right?
right.
This,
I understand. Those are front end development.
all the things you can do. So here you can maybe for HTML you want to like bold, Italian something. So you have to I think maybe write a word something B. I'm not remembered B for bold right here B right
Right.
something. I'm not remember but something here you can now learn the. I'm not going to but yes this is the option you can do.
Right. Right.
You have okay slash B something. Bold means I want to output something bold. Maybe let's try. I don't know. Let's maybe H1, H2, H3 something. I right. Stop them and again start them. Let me server start it. Notice server
So
started.
every time you refresh, you have to start your server.
No,
Every
no.
time you
After
save.
stop and again start. Here I am just again send the same request. Notice something I am getting bold, right?
Hmm. No, but
Here
what I'm saying, if you want to make some changes, you have to start your
after
server
changing,
again.
you have to stop server and restart.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
let us I am change here bold and H1. So here I have changed something like H1 font. H1 means some big style something, right? H1, H2 here. You have to
Hmm.
delete the HTML syntax as well, right? Whatever you want, right?
Right, right,
Now a code change. It will not impact the latest code, right? Here, not impact anything. If you I again going to send the request, hey, this is the hello. I am getting the change response, but I'm not getting here written the H1. I am not getting the H1 right here.
right, right.
So for impacting, you have a two button here. Notice here. Here say restart or again stop. So I prefer stop them. Server stop nice. Server stop here and again say again start them, right?
Oh, okay, okay. I see, I
And
see.
now our server again started and again started and just wait. It will be done. Started and here I can send the request. Hey, just say this is my request. Notice I'm getting a bigger font, right?
Right, 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 right.
And notice
Got it.
I'm getting here output as a bigger one, right?
Hmm.
And yeah. Maybe you want to Italian something. I think I have an option like here I something for Italian something. I'm not remembered, but we have to learn those things. Okay. The styling. इसको बोलते हैं CSS styling something. Okay. Then stop.
Okay.
Now this is the depend upon the what kind of output you want. But purpose is that now your Java code can be output view on your browser, right?
Right, right.
But
It's like
for
a
your
webs.
browser,
It's like a web application.
yes. Notice here. That good. You
Right,
can do
right,
now timing change. Notice timing change, right? You can do multiple requests, and they are multiple. All the output on server coming, right?
right, right.
So is this is the where we are requesting from URL and getting something. Next question: can I pass some input value from here? Here, let's say I want to hello my name. Here your name something, right? Some request parameter you want, right?
Right.
So let's do. So I'll do. Next question, what happened? I stop my server. Now my server is stopped and someone going to request them here. What happens? Server notice there is not accessible because your local
Right.
host, this port 808 is no server running.
Right.
So please, whenever you're going to run, sometime not reachable means your server 808 port no application running. Okay, so you have to start them. Okay, and what happened? Let's see, I start them. It's good, and this is the good, right? And
Right.
now let's start it. And here you say, hey server, now I'm going to again hitting the request. Now I'm getting response. What happens? Someone not pass the here anything. Just 808 they run. We're getting some error page, right?
Right.
Because you are not defining if someone passed nothing, then what happened, right? Because in this class, you have just mentioned one URL slash hello work. Apart from anything someone going to call and not pass anything, always giving sometime error page. No error page found, right? This is no.
Okay. Okay.
So I
But
think
when you type hello, then it gives you something else.
uh, if I type as hello, it will give me the result, right? But
Right.
I'm not
Right.
typing anything, they're not returning anything, right? So at least let's give the default page, right? So if just copy page and write the this is the default maybe main one, right? First anything, right? You can method write it. Here say if you not pass anything, just nothing, right? Just say welcome. Okay, just change the message. Okay. Here say if someone not passing anything, that call this method, right? And say just welcome.
Right. Right.
Stop and again start server. So in this case, your one class, you can define any number of URL, right? Which you want
Right.
to support. So now server by started, I think. No, let's start them. So let's start. It's good. Started. And now let's guys just run the nothing. We're not passing anything, right? We're not passing anything. Just run. Notice welcome again, right?
Right.
That means in this time, our this code is run, right? In this time, this code run. So here notice in the main method, I cannot say not say ki, hey, you can call first method this and this, or this first or this. There is a no any kind of ordering. Just you define your mapping. Just let them customer decide ki which method they want to first, right? So
Right.
this is the major differences between your main applications and web application. In main application, whenever you're writing code, these two methods you have to call first call hello or second call first, or first call first and then second call hello, right? The same way your main application always run. But now I'm saying no, just I am written this couple of methods, and when this method run, customer decide which method they want to call first, right? Here we cannot say method. We can say, hey, customer call any URL or any endpoint or any resources. Here you can have two resources, one nothing, one hello.
Right.
Till now any confusion?
No.
So next one thing also to declare. Let's say I pass my name here, something, my name, and here I want to some give user input, right? So let us hear from the browser how you can give input. Also, let's think. This thing you can test from user or Postman. Let's I'm open my Postman, right?
Right.
Generally, for all the API development, preferable way. This is my preferable way. Always I am using the Postman to test. You can use the browser or you can use the Postman, right?
Right. Right. Oh, you use Postman most of the time.
Yeah. Mostly for API testing, we are using lots of tool available to test your API. Not the post.
Right.
The Postman is the one of. basic tools to test, right? Or you can use the Swagger, or can use the Postman, or lots of tools available on the internet, right?
for API testing.
Yeah. So here why I'm going to here exactly mention, here I'm not mention, I'm calling the get method, post method, update method. Because here is not any option we have, right? Postman have a
Right,
control method. You are going to call post, get, put, patch, delete, what, right? So
right.
yes, okay, I'm going to get what is the my URL? This is the my URL. Okay, copy and paste here. Just run here, right? And just run them. So now I am getting response here. Notice,
Welcome.
welcome. It's clear. So that is this is working from both. And if I pass here like a hello, it's work hello. And good option they have a though they have maintained the history. First you want to this, just click and send them, right? First you want to again this, click them, right? So they
Oh,
maintain all
okay.
your history here, right?
Right,
Good. So now question, let's say I want to pass some input from maybe browser, maybe Postman. So I'll do. So by default in the API development, how you can pass input, we have a two options. Today we're going to discuss one, and tomorrow we're going to discuss another one, right? So what's the option? Here means ki you can say question mark and path variable. You say I want to name should be like Don, okay? This way.
right.
So here why say ki name and John? Because you have to tell server ki this is the variable where you can receive this value. Notice
Right,
in programming, whatever the value you have, this is the value like John, okay? John,
right.
John, you want to send server, right? The server receives some variable, right? Let's say name or something. So due to that, always you are using the known as a path variable. What is a path? This is the you are
Variable.
also considered a path, right? This is the path. And
Yeah.
just name equal to your value. You have to pass this. And how our HTTP you are understand you are passing this is the URL or path. So just make differences between the question mark and that.
Mhm.
So this is the way you can pass. The question, how my server receive you are passing some path or not, right?
Right.
So let's write one more method. Say uh, greeting message. So this is the my new method like a greet. Okay, yeah, greet. I say ki whenever say greet URL, okay, greet, and after that I want to take some input. So here in this method, I want to take some name message string name. Okay, string name.
Right.
Here I want to hello and just maybe welcome, and after that I'm say your name, right? Just plus
Right.
plus double quote say name variable, right?
Right.
Okay. Thus in a Java, you can call this method then pass the here main method. You can pass the name variable, right? Now
Yeah.
this name variable I want to receive from the browser, right? What they say? Okay, here should be outside, right? So here I want to your welcome and after that name. Okay, okay, welcome your name at this time. So question is that whenever I call this name method, how you say ki user pass the name? How say ki this is the path variable? So again, whenever you inform something your Spring framework, you have to use the annotation. So which annotation you have to use? So again, if you look this our quick start, they have mentioned this is the one variable request parameter. What say? Request parameter. Give the
Request
name
parameter.
and what the default value. If some customer not found, not passed, then what if asked, right? So we are going to use this annotation, right? So I'm saying, hey, this is the name. Till now, your main work, but how this work from the browser itself? So we say, okay, I am going to tell the Spring framework this value comes from this path. So say, hey, this is a request parameter, right? So this is request parameter. What the name? So this is the value. Value would be like they pass a name, and if they are not pass name, what is the default value? Default value say ki. Nothing, blank, right?
Right.
Notice here again, I am going to use the annotation to tell our Spring framework this name variable can someone call from this browser. If someone pass those value I place here, not pass I place the default. Maybe dummy or anything you can paste here default with, right?
Right.
Default value, let's go. Uh, what? Hello world. Okay. Welcome. Anything you default value give. Even whatever you want, right?
Right.
Yeah. A name. Okay. No name. Okay. Anything you can give. Okay. Default value. So now whenever I'm start, now we have a one more method greet, and after that you can pass this name value. If you're not passing by default, say ki no name. Yeah. Welcome. Unknown. Anything you can give. Yeah. Welcome world. Okay. Okay. Welcome app.
Right.
Okay? Let's say this is my default value. Whatever you can think, whatever you suitable. So let's again start the server and test this great API. All known as the API means ki now application programming interface. This is our interface user can call them, right? And now I'm
Right.
going to call this slash greet method, right? So say hey. After that, I'm saying ki not con to call. I'm call to slash greet. Okay. Answer. Let's notice the welcome in greet app. There is no name here pass, right?
Right.
And let me I pass this name here name. So how can I pass name? This is the rule here. In this case, you have to say question mark. Okay, name equal to whatever the value you want. Let's John. Okay, you can pass notice here. Welcome John. Whatever you pass in here, the same your response and same you receive in your server. Notice welcome John, right?
Right.
A same API you can test from the Postman. So Postman say, hey, I want to test greet. And they are greeting. This is the welcome not. I want to name some value. The Postman have option. This is here key value you can pass here. Notice key value. If you type here, let I'm typing question mark, they can this enable. Notice here, and I can say name. Notice here name are equal to. Notice come here and say Smith. Notice this value. So here you
And
can directly type name
and the
and value.
method and the
Yes.
method that controls it.
Yeah.
Let's say that I want to get the value from the URL.
So
It's
here
always
notice
return
how I'm
something,
getting
right?
the welcome Smith. So now
It's
in case of great Postman, you don't directly write here. Just here you testing it's okay. You want to give some name here you can use the place. Here say hey name I want Sam. Okay, key and value. It's visible something, and this is already become URL for you. Notice here send them. You welcome Sam, right? And the same you are getting your server output, right? So whenever you want, give some name. This key and value you have to pass using the URL from this.
and and the method that uh, uh,
Get.
has that is always return something, right? The
You have
method.
to just generally if you want to return, you can return. If you don't want to return, you cannot return anything. Right?
No, no, but the method type, like public string,
Yeah.
that needs to be returned.
Maybe you can write different method without any return. Let's see, I am writing method void. Okay?
Okay, okay.
Right?
It's not
And here
okay. I
say
see.
just test. I am say just someone test my API okay or not. I'm
Mhm.
not returning anything. Just say this is the test. Okay, test. Test my server. Okay,
Right,
it should not matter. Java code say now it's okay. Just done nothing. Okay, and just I just write on my server, and I'm not passing anything. Just I want not interested in anything. Right?
right,
Just I want to if someone pass test. This is response command in my server, but on the URL I am saying nothing, no output because I'm not returning any output. Right? What is? So the method I am saying someone call them, but I'm not returning any output. Just say stop them and test. Right? Say slash test. Let's see what the output we are getting.
right.
So now let's server started. Now started, and let's go here. Say no, I want to just test. Okay, okay. I want to test. Okay, and run it. You're not getting anything, right? But let's our server check. You are getting my server test at a right. This is the output, right? Because on server you can do anything, right?
Right.
So here, this is the method rule. You know, method can be return type void, can be string, can be employee, can be anything. This is the Java basic rule. You
No,
are
but what I'm saying, if we want to return something from the URL, like
uh,
in the previous example, we return the name.
right.
So the method that we wrote,
Uh,
it needs to be return something, right? Like public
right.
string.
If you
Okay.
want, if no, this is not mandatory. If you want to give some return time, then you are mandatory. If you don't want, you don't. In that sense, I'm trying to say this is the optional. What you decide. This is your application, right? Sometime you want
Right.
to give a response, then give return time. Sometime you don't want to
Yeah,
respond.
I
Don't give.
want to return. I want to response. I want to show it to the browser. So it's
Then
return.
we have to give.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now this is a complete Java code. You write whatever you want. Just what
Good.
is now change? Now say that this code is run from user choice when user want to. Now notice in this class have a lots of method. I'm not any order which order this method call. User come say hello, hello call. User say nothing. Maybe user say no, I'm going to first test, then greet, right? So
Right.
your application flow of execution now under the control of your user, not you decide. Notice I have
Mm.
written here four method, right? But in
Right.
four method, which order they're going to the call, you don't define. You say your browser says, "Hey, first I'm going to call default. First time call default one, right? Nothing. Next time say no, I'm going to call the test. Next time I call a test, right? Maybe I don't want any. But our server always running for response, right? You're always running.
Right.
Sometime known as this is a asynchronous programming. Notice for all this request, new multi-threading are happening going on. This is the one request served by one thread, one request served by one thread, one request
So
served by one thread.
so these are multi-threading.
Yes,
Each of
by
them.
default they implemented internally by your Spring framework. You are not doing any
Okay.
multi-threading. By default, they are implemented inside your framework itself.
Right.
Due to the
Right.
multi-threading, notice this application always running. If you're not writing the multi-thread, this code cannot run infinite.
Right. Right.
Right? Okay? It's any doubt, any confusion?
Now I got it.
So today at least we have understand how can use this get API, get endpoint. You can say get API, get endpoint. You can using the get pass nothing. You can just say this is my protocol, this is my IP address or host number, and port on which your application running, and URL. You just say URI and URL. Do terminology sometimes say. Sometimes say URL. Sometimes say URI. So URI for identification, alpha complete knowledge URL, right? This is the part of
Mm.
URI where you can mention this is my resources something which you want to call, right?
Right.
This is the you can Google it, understand, right? Sometimes they are confused, and sometimes like, you pass your URI, sometimes path, sometimes URL. Just understand the request. Overall, now you say, what is this? This is the requesting. We are saying, hey, this is my request. I'm getting some response. Just send the request and getting the response here. So instead to say
Right.
our API means you are sending a request and getting the response, right? Here
Mm.
request send and response get. From who they? This is server. In this case, you are using the internally Spring framework using the Tomcat server to serve the request. In the Tomcat server, I am written my class and deploy here as a jar file. User can give the request from this browser, from the Postman, even from the command line. I can test from the command line. Let's open. You can download on the window machine or maybe you curl command. You so it is the one I'm going to just so. I'm using the git bash to use the curl. Same command you can run from this your curl. Curl is the one command to test any API, right? Just paste your URL right here. Notice,
So you use the curl?
yes, curl also can use. Yes, C U R curl and just paste the. Okay. Now I'm getting this response. Notice here,
Okay, okay,
and use
okay.
the curl as well as right. So these are the API testing tool. Let's keep this time pass nothing. I'm not. And even the curl have option. You can say pi JQ. Mane good response option you can some. Curl command. I'm getting answer here, right?
Right,
Mm, I am not slash greet. You can getting the greet response, right? This is a great
right.
response, and I can say pi JQ. Why not run? Uh, Let me make sure. But here you can curl run, right? Curl is a basic command. You can Google it, and even you can pass the name, the question mark, name equal to Anis. Okay.
Yeah.
Notice here's API say, hey, welcome Anis, right?
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Now you can test. Notice your server is running, and anyone, any API can test from the different mode. We are testing from the same endpoint list that I'm testing. Hello John from this URL right here. Or you
Right,
can say same from the Postman. Okay, yeah, I'm getting response. Or you can same from your curl, right?
right,
Curl and just paste here. And this is URL. And you can get your response, right?
right,
So now you can just develop your applications and start it on the server, and now your server is just running infinite, and notice all the requests you are receiving from different port on the server, and server responding to each and every one. So what is the architecture known as a client server architecture? Now you develop your application as a server application, right? Your
right,
server, and you write your code deploy in the Tomcat server, right? This is a Tomcat server internally by default given by your Spring framework, right?
right, right.
Now,
It's a
user
built-in,
can call
built-in
the
Tomcat
endpoint
server.
from different sources, maybe from browser, maybe from curl, maybe from Postman, maybe from mobile, anywhere. Now, all these are the client. Clients are communicating, sending a request to the server, and server responding via
Right.
protocol HTTP, right? So till now it's
Got it.
clear what is the client, what is the server, what is the
Yeah.
request, what is the response, how to developing a application, how to deploy the application.
Yes. Now it's clear.
Notice all this concept are lots of things, but using the framework, it's very easy for developing. Notice here I'm
Right,
not doing anything, just writing the Java method, Java method, Java method,
right,
business
right,
logic.
right.
All the infrastructure like a client code, request, response, server deployment, all are
Like
taken by your
even
framework.
if you were to deploy a Tomcat server like separately, it's
Yeah, you
like
can
a
do.
more, it's harder, right?
You can do manually start Tomcat server and this is jar file. Go to the place in the particular directory. You can do
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
all are because now our purpose is not ki how to deploy application. Here our purpose how to develop my application. Right? Once developed,
Right, right,
deployment are very necessary part, easy part. Any deployment in engineer, DevOps engineer can do them. Right?
right, right, right,
Here first we are going to develop our code. Now this code can be deployed on any server, maybe Tomcat server, JBoss server, Jetty server, any server, right?
right,
Because this is the code, this code written you can deploy from the command line, deploy from the any Docker instance, right?
right.
So coming session we are going to understand some more uh, method. Like till now today understand ki how to develop get endpoint, right? We have developed this is
Right,
the endpoint that is a get endpoint, right?
right,
Tomorrow let's going to understand the post, put, delete artist, right? These are the basic operation. Generally someone I'm going to create data, maybe store database. Let's tomorrow going to understand, getting some data, I'm going to store my database, right? Maybe this is the
Right.
application, we can build something, right? Here maybe we are going to build like we are going to build application like, here customer can give the some employee detail, employee name, age and salary, right? And send this
Mm.
data to my server. Server can receive those information and store my database, right?
Right.
Later part server, okay, hey, I want to X employee name, just give me the detail. I want to update the record, I want to delete the record, right? So this method help us like get, update, delete, post, right? We
Right.
will complete how to develop the complete applications, right?
Right.
By the endpoints. So this is the starting today. Just let's explore how to use this build, rest, get endpoints. Very easy. We cannot learn anything extra which I already know. Just what we learn extra, how this methods invoked, right? How we can inform our Spring server, hey, this is the my method you can allow someone call. This is the my variable I want to get request input, right?
Right.
Rest code is nothing. Whatever that we are going to understand inside this method, this is your pure Java code written whatever you want, right? Just only learn different make URL, different value you can get, and done.
And Ajay, how do I make a folder IntelliJ that this project will not interfere with my previous Java class?
Yeah, they are not interfering anything because this project is clearly separate folder, separate something. In your existing code base, they are not interfering anything. This is my close, this is separate folder inside my application. They are separate folder. Notice previously whatever I'm writing code inside my Java app, this is the Java app, right? Here I
Can
can
you
open.
open? Can you open your
This is my existing code. That's why I open you.
right?
So these are independent code you written. There is not any interference with any other code base. Notice this is my all the existing code base as place. Notice here. This is my complete project already yesterday we discussed here, right?
Okay. Can you run this code?
Yes, I can run all the code I run you. There is please be clear. Your existing code program, all the things. Let's see. Study. I'm not writing any code. This is my notice the time zone conversion class, right? Study written way,
Right.
and you can run them. It's work fine. There is no any disturbance with your existing code.
And how do you? Okay. Now let me
Let me run
see.
it.
I want to see that first.
Yeah, let's see this. The be clear. There is no confusion. Notice this is my code running. Okay.
Okay. Now can you go back to what we did today? Uh,
Yes, today let's say employ close them and I can go to the, hey, this is my new project, I web development. This is the new project. I can let's go start in the IntelliJ again. New IntelliJ window open.
no, but
Want to
can you not open like you have to open it like this?
no,
Uh,
I say
can you?
open separate. Okay, right here. Now this is the new my application. And this application I can start in the port 808, right? Now let's start this application. This is also running, both also running. Because your previous code is not running on any server, any port. Sometime both IntelliJ, you are going to run the same application on the same port 808. At that time, you say compiler say your port is already used by another application. Same port
Mhm.
cannot run two applications, right? Now notice
Oh,
this.
so you always have to open like this.
Yes, yes. You can notice this is my also running. This is my one IntelliJ, my server running. This is my another IntelliJ, my code running. Notice both are running.
Oh, okay. I see.
So please, whenever you are opening any POM, so I say always in future, always open your application from POM file. Open with the POM, and whenever you open the option, give me the start with the new window. Always start with the new window, right?
It starts with a new window.
This is just I want two separate IntelliJ ID, right?
Right.
So this is the one way you can manage, right? This is the first thing clear. This is completely separate project you created. There is not any interference with the existing code base. Notice separate
Right.
folder. Due to that notice, I created one new folder, web development. Not I'm going to touch my Java code, right?
Okay. So if let's say, can you close all the IntelliJ?
Yes, this is my IntelliJ.
Okay.
And maybe
So
I can let close them, the no intelligent, right? And I have a two project. This is the Java project, this is the web development project, right? The two
can you go
folder,
to
right?
Java? Okay.
Go to the web
Java.
development, my first project, and just open in the IntelliJ, right?
Yeah.
It works for me.
But if you want to open your Java folder, that's a regular way how
You
we
can
used
also
to open.
with the same way, yes, you can. There is a no interference, I'm trying to say, right?
Okay. Okay.
Don't worry on that, right? So let's practice this, and okay, this is the
Mhm.
very basic, and you can say almost you can cover about the REST get endpoint, how to develop an endpoint REST. There is a no any
Okay.
conflict. Tomorrow we're
Understood.
going to
Okay.
understand some more method. Instead of get, we can understand post other method as well. So after
Sure.
some
Sure.
time, you can understand to develop the REST endpoint, all the endpoints.
Okay.
So here, what we think? We just learn some basic syntax and semantic of Spring framework. Nothing. This annotation we learn. This one annotation we learn, and third annotation we learn. This is
Yeah.
parameter
And
request
the
param,
rest are in Java. Yeah.
and the rest all are Java. Right?
Mm.
It's good.
Yeah.
Let's do practice. There is a very simple, nothing.
Right.
Any Spring framework, any document, all this place here. Just you notice that the same thing they can start it here and that's testing, right? It's done, right?
Right.
We are did today quick start how to build your uh, simple Spring Boot application using the get endpoints, right?
Right.
I think it's if you have any question till now, any confusion, any doubt,
No, I'm good now.
so let's
Today.
do practice. Okay,
Thank you. Bye.
thank you.